Hi everybody, we're back for step 3. So the very first thing we're going to do is from your double stick dazzle sheet, down in this bottom corner, you have sort of a swirly piece right here. And you'll notice when I took it off the sheet, the largest part of the swirl is on the left. So I'm going to do something a little tricky. I'm going to turn that over. So the largest part of the swirl is now on the right. Okay, so on my original, the largest part of the swirl is on this side. It's the reverse. So we're just going to use it backwards. And that's because I want it to, the heaviest part of it to be on the edge of the clipboard. Just a little design preference. Okay, so we're going to take this very sticky, and we're going to just put it right down here in the corner. Just use your fingertips. Doesn't take much to just stick it down. Don't touch it too much because it just keeps sticking to your fingers. Okay, now, once that's done, put this cover back on because I forgot to do that. And some of my paper stuck to the edge of it and I freaked out. So you want to keep that covered. Okay. So the next thing we're going to do is take your gilding flakes. Now watch when I open this. If I can open it. Don't you hate that? Okay, there we go. See, it's already in the air. And I'm just gonna take a small pinch. That's all I need. That's too much, as a matter of fact. This little measly package will last such a long time. All right, so I'm gonna take this and we're just going to sprinkle it around on that swirl. Don't worry about covering the whole thing because once we hit this thing with our cosmetic sponge, something miraculous happens and it just seems to go farther than it should. Okay, you know what a good thing to have on hand is one of those Swiffer dusting things. My coworker Debbie, she introduced me to that, and now I can pick up glitter with the Swiffer duster, and it's changed my life. Okay, so we have this right here. Get a close-up of it. Okay, now we're going to take the cosmetic sponge and see how I'm just going in swirls. And what it's doing is it's just burnishing this gilding flake right into the adhesive and any little places, and then all the little stuff that it's burnishing away, it just moves it to a place that's sticky and picks that up too. Look at that. That's all there is to that. That's so simple. Okay, so now see if we can get this back in the bag. That's the tricky part. You might even want to transfer this gilding flake into a jar. There we go. And it actually comes in a jar, but the kit would not allow for us to give you the entire jar. But if you have a very clean jar at home, you could just transfer contents of it into that. There we go. Okay. Oh, I think we're all right now. Now, if you, like me, I have a little piece here that didn't quite get adhered down. You can do that now. And I'm going to burnish it a little bit more and then just sweep off the excess, just like that. And there's going to be some on the back, and it's going to be in your hair, and oh, it's just crazy how this stuff goes. See, it even kind of stuck itself onto the plastic. Isn't that crazy? There's no adhesive on there, and it just needed a nice flat surface. Okay, that'll just rub off when we're done. All right. Oh, I should have brought my Swiffer with me. Okay. Here we go. So the next thing is the hammered gold paper. This is such beautiful stuff. And what we're gonna do is we're going to cut this, and it's going to be 3.5, well, maybe 3 1/4 inches wide and about 3 inches wide. Let's tear it to 3 inches. Okay, little tear along the top. It's that top edge that's always the trickiest for me. There we go. All right, so I'm going to measure this from the tear. Where's the pencil? 3 inches. Mark that. And I'm going to tear that. And you can fold it with a slight fold, or you can just kind of eyeball it like I did. Oh, see, I went a little bit over on that, so I want to keep that end pretty even. There we go. Putting that in my keeping file. All right, now we're going to have you glue that right across the center here of the paper. There we go. Give that a little time to dry. You could even put a book or something on over that to press it down. Okay, so we're going to set that aside. All right, the next part is we're going to tear, well, actually, let's do the cardboard. Okay, so in your kit, you got this corrugated cardboard card. And here's why. Because when you cut it in half, it makes 2 perfectly sized pieces. So instead of getting you corrugated cardboard and having you measure it, I thought, all right, that's genius. We'll just have you cut the card in half. So I just turned it over and used my paper cutter, cut it right down the center. Now I have 2 pieces. So we're going to take one of these pieces and we're going to ink the edges silver. And you want to be pretty generous with the silver. Don't be afraid to get some right onto the surface there. This part's going to be, the middle part's going to be covered, so don't waste your silver on that. But the edges, just get a generous amount of silver ink on there. Okay, you can see that. All right. Now that is going to get glued over the hammered gold, and we want to place it above our embellishment here. Okay, so a little bit above that, and we want to go in on the side about 1.5 inches. Okay, some glue on the back of this. All right, what did I say, 1.5 inches? There we go. All right. All right, now I've torn a piece of the Color Me Gold writing paper, and this is about 3¼ inches wide by 2¼ inches long. And we're going to ink that with, let's see, I think I used a little bit of silver and a little bit of bronze there. Okay. And don't forget, when you're cutting the paper from the excess of the Color Me, make sure and try to keep as much of your border intact as possible. We're not going to use the whole border. We're only going to use about 7 inches of it, so the remainder of that 12-inch length is up for grabs. Okay, so we're going to take this and we're going to glue it right about there. Okay. All right, that does it for our paper layers. All right, so come on back for step 4.